Hello everyone and welcome to another early review video thing. Well, right now what's entered the store is the Kanonenjagdpanzer, and as you can see it is a TD. It kind of looks like an E25 on steroid, and that's kind of how it works as well. Basically I've got a few games and moments lined up for you and we're just going to talk about it. Basically, as you can see, the tank is nice and mobile. It can get places pretty fast, and that's one of the things that I quite like about it. At the same time, it does not have a lot of armor. Basically, people are unlikely to bounce on you, and more so in this tank than in most tanks, it is important to not be primary target. I will show you some examples of that because, of course, my games haven't all been good. The accuracy of the tank, however, is lovely. The damage that it does is just lovely. The reload is amazing. Basically, this tank can dish out damage if the game lets you, because that again is where the tricky point comes. The fact that you either need to have your team as primary target or you just need the enemies to not shoot you. Now, as it is per usual though, we have been told that the tank will come in crates because that's basically how Wargaming runs things now. And crates are bad, okay? Do not spend a gazillion dollars or euros or whatever currency you have on crates. It's not worth that. That being said though, it is a good tank and I do quite enjoy it. Basically, if people shoot you, they will like pen you and everything. So, like I said, it's important to not be primary target. But it is a fun tank. It's fast, it's mobile, it's got a good gun and all of that. But it comes in crates. And I can't look in your wallet, obviously, but all the same, regardless of how much money you have, if you want to take a little bit of a gamble, by all means, but do not spend a gazillion currency on crates, because it's just not worth that. I mean, it is a new tank, it will get back into the store eventually for gold, and then it will be a lot better basically to get it than to basically gamble away all your money trying to get a tank with a tiny drop percentage, because let's face it, the drop chance is never good, because otherwise then crates wouldn't really earn Wargaming all that much money. But yeah, you get my point. Back to the tank for a moment though, this is one of the things I actually quite like, because the tank, it's not a very effective sniper. This was me just basically taking the shot too hasty. But all in all, whereas the gun is quite accurate, I've missed a few shots here and it's just like, it doesn't sit well. I mean, the shot didn't exactly go where I wanted it to go. I should have just used APCR, to be honest. But yeah. And as I said, this tank, it needs a team. It is a bit team dependent. The reload is fine. If you're facing off against one tank, you will do okay. Especially when the tank is not pushing. But now that tank is a friend. I have a friend that is coming behind me. And I think, okay, well, if the STI is pushing there, I can push this little guy. The only problem is that he has friends as well. I'm shooting him here. But as I decide to push him in the hopes that the other ones will focus on my teammates, they actually don't. And as you can see, it is very easy for them to pen me. And I've noticed this in a few games. Like, it will do damage if you can get the shots in. But if they do not give you time to reload and actually make those shots, you die very, very quickly. And I've got another example of that, which is this game. And I fast forwarded the first little bit. I do quite like the look of this tank. It looked kind of cheeky, and it really does look like the big brother of the E25 or some such. And as per usual, I just start by capping the base, and there's a shark over there and a VK. And I'm mainly just always hoping that I don't get pushed here. I like to play aggressively, especially when I'm trying out a tank. But at the same time, I know that I need to be careful in this one. Now he's standing there. Accuracy allows me to shoot that just fine. And I just wait and see a little bit longer. They have capped A though, so they will either come around base B, or they will like show up on our flank or whatever. So I have to be careful with that as well. The Stu here is not paying attention to me, so I take that chance to get a shot in. before pulling back again. They are at base B, so I know that I either need to push or just pull back, and I decide to push instead, which in hindsight might not have been the most brilliant decision I've ever made. I do kill that one though. I bounce the Zoo, or rather he just does module damage, and then I do not kill him. And I'm like, oh god, now I'm absolutely doomed. But I have a nice little corpse here. He's not actually pushing me that way. He's trying to shoot me. And I know that with a bit of luck I can get the shot in when he can't. We shoot at the same time though, and my shot pens. But that being said, my team is starting to evaporate. I have a shark that is coming here. I do land a shot on him and then I pull back. Because again, as long as I can reload in peace, it's not that big a problem. The only thing is that I now have no more defense with me, and that's not something I'm happy with. In this case, the shot also goes wrong for me, which is not helping. And then when I try to shoot him again, I do at least 2 damage and I track him, but it's not going to be enough to save myself, obviously, because I only have 2 teammates left. I missed that shot because I don't take any time for it, and yeah. My teammate does try to help me, but he dies. My other teammate dies and I'm the last one alive. I do get to LTTB, but it's kind of obvious where this is going. This is basically what I mean. You do not have the armor to bounce. You do not have the armor to carry. You do have the reload to carry if the game allows you to. But it is kind of team dependent. That being said though, I do really like the tank because of the mobility. Same reasons I like the E25. I haven't driven it nearly enough, but just like the combination of that mobility and just to reload and everything, it can work brilliantly, but you do need a little bit of luck. And that brings us to the last game that I recorded and actually took the time in this video, which I'm grateful for, to be honest, in the replay I should say, to just kind of like show the tank. It does look nice with the glowy camo. I'm not sure if this is going to have a legendary camouflage or not. It doesn't really need it. It looks good in quite a few camos, including this one. But overall, so far most new tanks have had a legendary camo, so I don't know. All the same though, again, nice little look at the tank itself. And basically, it's just as I've been saying. Keep in mind that everything that will shoot you is most likely to pen you, and if it doesn't, you're more lucky than anything else. And you will see in this game just how lucky I can get. It is a new tank, so people tend to focus you as well. The tiger is basically pulling back into the base. I know he should one-shot for me, so I decide to just go for him. He shoots me, of course he pens, and then I go into the base. But now we have that IS-6, and he's like, yeah, I want some of that Kanonenjagdpanzer. And he immediately just pushes me, and he hits me, and I do have teammates here, but I decide that after he shoots, I shoot him again. I just pull back because I can be potentially a one-shot for him. My team is there, they are helping, but look how focused he is on me, and this is what I meant with me being very lucky this game. And then you have, of course, the Loba over there. The Borsig is a little bit in the way. The HE pen of this tank isn't that good. I mean, it's a 2D, so it will never like completely suck. But there are better tanks out there in that regard. And that being said though, this isn't a tank for the derp, this is a tank for the speed and just to get the shots in fast. It is a little bit evil if you can get all the shots in, because can you just imagine the DPM and all the shots that I can get in as long as the enemy team isn't shooting you. I do not believe this tank is a camper. That has to do with the fact that it's very fast, the reload is good and everything. It can take being relatively up close. Like, I'm not talking frontline. I mean, I'm way too aggressive in these games. And that is mostly due to the fact that when I'm testing a tank, I want to show what it can and can't do. And in this case, you see how much I got punished for being frontline. But there's a whole lot of different positions between being frontline and camping at the back. And I don't believe any tank is made to camp at the back, but especially the mobile tanks. They are not made to do that. So with that in mind, we are nearly wrapping up this game. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay so far, that it gives you a nice little bit of a view of the pros and cons of this tank. Like I said, it is a nice tank, but don't gamble tons of money for it, because at the end of the day, gambling is bad, and crates are bad because crates are gambling. But as for the tank itself, as I said, it is lovely. It has no armor, it has a great gun, and it's quite fun to drive. So that's it for my early review video. I do hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what you think. And if you do end up gambling, let me know whether or not you've gotten it. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all the next time. Bye bye!